This week on the podcast, we continue our Spring Anime 2020 anime season. We're talking about shows that are new to this spring. We'll be talking about shows that have already been out, but the new seasons are continuing, and then we get in a little bit about movies, and we have some fun. I hate you so much. Well, hey everybody, you're listening to the Son of a Geek podcast.
Son of a Geek!
Welcome back, Zio. Hello.
Thanks, I'm glad to be back, even though I sit here every day.
Yeah, well, we're back for part 2. We've got a bunch more anime to go through. We got a couple other short type things, and then some movies to touch base on. I'm hoping we'll wrap this up in about 45 minutes, so this podcast could be a little short. Sorry about that, guys, but Zio, are you ready for this?
Ben, I guess.
I'm pumped for this one. I know you said you thought it sounded really stupid, possibly. I don't remember. We're going to find out for a second, though. But this one is Komata Ji-san.
Yeah.
I only know the Japanese name, but this is the comedy centers of an old man who pulls stereotypical, he's kind of like a stereotypical ikemen, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, which means handsome man actions.
Yeah.
Which means handsome man. So he's pulling these stereotypical handsome man actions on similarly old women and makes their hearts flutter, because he is as well an old man.
I love it. I'm really excited for that, too. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to see it. He pulls like a big, I just imagine him just smoldering all over the place.
I hope so. I think it's going to be really sweet. Or either that or it's going to suck really bad. It could be a short, I don't know. I know it comes out April 8th, but I don't know where we're going to be able to watch that.
Is it April 8th yet? Nope, not yet.
Nope, not yet. So that one's going to be pretty sweet. I'm kind of looking forward to that one. Why don't we just go back and forth? If you want to read the name and the synopsis on the next one.
Sure.
Just kinda...
The other one is called Galactic, which is like Goku, but not.
No, not at all.
It's like an anime set in the Holy Girls Square Academy, an academy for training pro-star performers. The anime will focus on students who aim to participate in the academy's annual big event, the Girls Arena.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I wrote down for this personally, just because I can't find my notes for each anime.
Oh, that's fine. It was a little while ago. This one, it could be interesting. We don't really know too much about it. The only thing that we've seen is a short PV with just some pictures of them. It's the one where the art style reminds me of Pokemon. Like the Alola region style of their animations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a really cutesy art style. I have nothing wrong with that. We don't really know much about it. Hopefully it's okay. I don't think I'm going to watch it. I don't think I'm even going to give it a try.
This is going to be a little risky for me to say, but I don't typically watch animes that just features an all-girl cast. I don't mind, female protagonists and stuff. I just, for some reason, I don't...
What if it's an all-male cast?
I don't know. I still don't gravitate towards that. I guess it really kind of depends.
You're missing out.
What am I missing out on?
I don't know. I just
name something right now.
Daily Lives of High School. Oh, wait, no, that's a mixture. Never mind.
Alrighty then.
So the next one we've got is Tomika Kizuna Gatai, Earth Granner. This is the anime centers on the battles between the mysterious alien enemy Dark Spinner and the secret defense unit Earth Granar over Earth energy. The energy generated from the Earth's rotation.
Now, what is
really weird?
Oh, secret defense unit, Earth Granar. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to ask, what's the difference between Earth Granar and Earth energy, but I guess Granar is the group and energy is the energy of the Earth.
Yeah, pretty much. It's supposed to be another one of those mech ones. There's one of them. I don't think this is the one. There is another mech one that's a continuation of one from 20 or 30 years ago. But I don't think this is the one. I think this is a new one.
How do you feel about mech anime?
Typically, I'm not a big fan of them, but there have been a few that I've just fallen absolutely in love with.
Yeah, I was a lot bigger into mech anime when I was younger. And as I've gotten older, I typically stray away from them.
Well, because there was a really, really good one. I'll be quick about this one. There's a really, really good one that I found. It was in the Gundam the Gundam series, but this one took place on Mars, or it started out on Mars with a group basically of just kids that were kind of like slaves that ended up getting their freedom due to some attack that happened, and then they all banded together, and it was just this. It was a step away from the typical Gundam where it's like this big massive entity versus another one. And here it was kind of like this guild or group of kind of like freelancers that basically were just struggling to keep up and keep going and alive.
Okay.
And it was a really cool take on it.
All right. The last mech anime I actually enjoyed was called Aldnoah Zero.
That one I don't know. Was there a second season?
There is, but it's not as good as the first season.
Okay, I don't think I watched the second season. I think I watched the first one.
Okay, yeah.
That was one that I really wished ended on the first season, and that's why I didn't watch the second.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should have just ended on the first season and just stopped where it was. The second season isn't bad, but I really just enjoyed the first season because it had a really nice arc, and the way it ended I thought was great. But anyways, moving on. We got Watanuki Sanchi 2. It's the second season of Watanuki Sanchi no. So they changed the letter.
Yep.
In the story, the 3 VTubers will play the roles of Watanuki sisters who live together in one house in the, I'm so bad at this, Shitamachi area of Tokyo after they lost their parents. The series will show the heartwarming everyday lives of the sisters.
Do you know what a VTuber is?
Nope.
So a VTuber is a virtual tuber. This is an anime series that is came from a group of YouTubers that are basically famous on YouTube, I believe in Japan, and they are just known as from their virtual avatars.
Interesting.
So
I'm aware like they have like virtual avatars like
but it's the ones where it's like the
singer?
virtual reality where like the hands and everything move around. But it's they play these characters through, and it's all recorded through like virtual reality. So they've got like stuff set up for cameras or whatever in like the virtual reality thing. It's kind of neat. I couldn't find anything on it though.
Did you watch the first season?
I couldn't find the first season. So I left this one in here because I wanted to say if anybody knows how to watch this, please let me know because I don't think it's going to be fantastic, but it was good enough to get a second season, so who knows. But I want to at least check it out because that's something that I think would be kind of cool for maybe us to do in the future.
Maybe we can localize it.
Who knows? But the next one we got is Bang Dream Garupa Pico Umori. I think that's how it's said.
Some of these names.
So I'm sure it means something else in the other in like Japanese, but it just means nothing to us. So, Garupa Pico is telling the story of 5 band plus 1 extra character. If you played the game Girls Band Party, and I suggest you do it, then you might be familiar with all the characters here. But even if you are not, then rest easy since characters are easily identified. And you can wait. What is this?
You like have such a long description of whatever this thing is.
Oh wait, that's not my description. Everything I just said that's from a website. Please ignore that. I don't want to get in trouble.
We do not endorse this anime.
No, so what this one's supposed to be is it's based off of these because I guess I didn't copy the synopsis. I might have copied the wrong thing by accident. So Bang Dream is a singing group. It's an anime about a singing group normally, but this is supposed to be kind of like an offside type thing. I'm pretty sure anyways, where it's just a bunch of kind of different stories and very random, like a big mishmash of shenanigans between all of them. Like in one episode, you can find a character doing a gigantic mishmash costume, but on another episode, you'll find the terror of one character turning into their favorite food. There's like horror elements, mystery elements, thriller elements. It's just a whole bunch of a little bit of everything. So I don't think it's going to be something that's your cup of tea, Zio. I don't even know it's going to be my cup of tea.
Doesn't sound like it too much. I tend to like things that have a direct vision.
Yeah. This one has it's like I believe each episode is kind of like its own story, but it's just the characters are recurring throughout it.
Oh, okay. I guess that may not be too bad.
But who knows? This next one I'm really excited for.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, SAC, 2045. In the year 2045, after an economic disaster known as the Synchronized Global Default, rapid developments in the AI propelled the world to enter a state of sustainable war. However, the public is not aware of the threat the AI has towards the human race. Full-body cyborg Major Motoko? Is that right? Did I say it right?
Yeah, Motoko. I believe so.
Kusanagi and her second-in-command, Bato, are former members of Public Security Section 9, who are now hired mercenaries traveling hot, devastated American West Coast.
Yeah.
It's a weird combination of words.
Yep.
The land is full of opportunity. The land is full of opportunity for the Major and her team. They utilize their enhanced cyber brains and combat skills for their time working in Section 9. However, things get complicated with the emergence of post-humans who have extreme intelligence and physical powers. The members of Section 9 come back together again in order to face this new threat.
Yeah.
There's
so what
a
do you
lot
know
of
about
words
Ghost
in
in the
there.
Shell?
I know about the movie and the Americanization of the movie.
Did
That's
you ever
about
watch
it.
the old TV show?
The old TV show.
Sorry, the anime for it?
You mean the anime movie?
No, there was an anime.
That
So-
came out after the movie.
No.
Like, the movie was first, and then
Nope.
the anime...
No.
Yeah, totally sure.
You sure?
Ghost in the Shell was a movie first, and then the anime followed up to further the plot.
Oh, you're talking about like the really old stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like the stuff from years and years. Okay. I thought you were talking about
It's
the new
originally
stuff.
a movie. No, I'm like I said, I'm aware about the movie, and then the live action Scarlett Johansson one. And that's all I know about Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, because yeah, there was the. Honestly, I don't even remember what came first then. Because I thought for sure
The
Ghost in the
movie.
Shell was
The anime
it was a
movie.
manga, and then it was
Yeah,
an
and
anime,
then-
and then it was a movie.
No, so it was a manga, then it became an anime film.
Okay.
Then they did like a season and stuff like after that.
And then it spawned the rest of the Ghost in the Shell stuff, and then like the remake / rework / whatever the other things were.
Yeah.
But I'm
yeah,
super pumped for this. It's gonna be on Netflix, which means probably everything out at once.
That'd be cool.
My
Unless they do the thing that they do with some other things, like where they release 4 episodes a week.
It's almost possible. My only concern with this one is it's in 3D. It's not animated, but
So
they've kind of changed the style a little bit, so everything kind of seems to fit together.
so it's
I
like
think it'll work
CG
out.
animation.
No, it's more of CG, but done in a way where everything kind of has a unified look to it. So everything kind of looks like it fits, and kind of.
I still don't like that. I don't know if that's gonna be good. I feel like the characters are probably gonna feel stiff. I don't
Well,
know, there's something
From
about
the
it.
PV, they didn't look too bad. I didn't have any complaints watching that.
I'll be the judge of that.
Or are you just watching it right now?
I'm watching it right now.
Okay, well, while you watch that, I'm going to quickly brush over one of the animes, which is
Yes.
Soul Eventa, just because no plot information has been released for it yet. All
Okay.
we know, I believe it's coming out on, I want to say Netflix, but I don't remember for sure. The only thing we know about it, this is the first anime series to be hand-drawn in 4K HDR quality. Other than that,
yeah.
we don't really know much about it, but it's supposed to be like banging with its animation qualities. So
I do remember the PV for that, or the trailer, the video they released.
well, it was
looked
really long, and it
interesting,
wasn't
like,
really a PV. It was
the-
just them
well,
talking
no,
about
but it
like,
was
oh,
like
we
a-
got a
yeah.
great thing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna look good. Here's a couple pictures. Hope you like it.
Yeah, behind the scenes stuff of it. It did
Yeah.
look really good. I'll give it
did.
that. Ghost in the Shell looks terrible. I think
Well,
I figured it out watching this little video. I watched it twice.
Mhm.
So like nothing feels like it has weight. I think that's where it's at. So like you see this car drive and the car stops, and yeah, the car shifts forward a little bit, but it doesn't feel weighty. And I
Yeah.
think I don't know, it just doesn't get the budget that it deserves with that type of animation, because you need a larger budget. I mean, I like Pixar films, I like animation, stuff like How to Train Your Dragon and everything, but they have a much higher budget to work with than anime does. So
Yeah, typically that's what a lot of the 3D anime adaptations kind of turn into, is something where something doesn't quite look right.
yeah.
And usually it's exactly what you said. It has to do with the weight of things. So just because I don't, I hate saying it's easier, but I feel it is easier to kind of portray that stuff in a hand-drawn animation.
Yeah.
just because you don't
Yeah.
have the constraints of like the models and the rigs. It kind of gives you more freedom because it's basically however you can draw it. So.
Yeah, and you have a lot more, I feel like, creative freedom with that aspect too, just because like when you have a 3D model of a character does this and they go for a punch, you know how long the arm is and everything, you can kind of feel the scale, but when it's hand drawn, you can kind of like play around with that a little bit.
Oh, give me one sec. Hey, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Come here, buddy.
Come here, buddy.
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 There we go.
Come on, buddy. There we go.
Although I think
Glad
he's
we did
coming all
that
the way
together.
down here now. So, what I'm really excited for, I don't know if it's going to be good. I know I'm just butting in and talking about this next one, so I'm just really excited. God of Deception.
Okay, what's it about?
So, Liaonan is a god who has lied too much and has now attracted bad karma. One day he meets a high school student who will change his destiny forever. That's all we have for the information on it.
That
for like the
doesn't sound too
synopsis.
good to me.
But what it's supposed to be about is it's this god he's lied too much and he's attracted bad karma, and he's going through trying to, we don't really know, I don't know exactly what it is, but he just, you know what, Zio, I don't know. Watching the PV, I thought I had a good idea of it, but now
Based
trying
off
to
of
put
what
it
you're
into
saying,
words.
it kind of makes me think of 100 Good Deeds of Eddie McDowell.
I have not seen that.
That's a really old Nickelodeon show.
Okay.
That isn't that great, but it's about this guy who bullied a kid, and he got bad karma, and he got turned into a dog. And the only way he can get turned back into human is he has to do 100 good deeds
Really?
as this dog, and he ends up being adopted by the kid he bullied the most.
Really?
So it kind of sounds like the anime version of that, but obviously more anime with, you know, being a god and such and whatnot. I don't know. I have a hard time getting the animes like this. I have a feeling it's going to be like a slice of life style where it's silly and wacky. I guess if I want this to be anything, I'd like it to be lean more into slice of life and very little supernatural. Because I guess I tend to favor my supernatural things to be more action oriented rather than slice of life, like, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does make sense. I'm trying to find any information on it, and I'm having a hard time. I know it's this is not one from Japan. I believe this is from China.
Okay.
Because it's originally was like Shi Huang Zi Shen or something like that.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything too much about it. I know looking at online, you can find like the first 3 episodes. So I don't know I don't know what's going on with that one, but the PV I think was really cool with the art style, and the animation quality of it. And
it does look interesting.
I think it. I don't know. I
and
think
it does look more action packed.
Yeah. So I didn't do any justice on the description of that one, but I was like, this can't be the only thing. So I quickly Googled it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the only thing I could find on it.
Well, alrighty then.
So
I guess next coming up after that is going to be the house spirit Tatami-chan.
yeah.
The pleasant horror gag comedy centers around the life of Tatami-chan, a sardonic ghost from the
Iwate Prefecture.
Oh, there we go. The Iwate Prefecture, who is now living in Tokyo among other spirits, supernatural entities, and humans, in addition to dealing with otherworldly matters. The unemployed Tamati-chan also has to deal with the job hunting as well as paying for gas, water, and electricity.
Yeah. I think it'll
Slice
be
of life.
interesting, except for the fact that I believe this is one of the ones that has that flash animation style for its animations, and I don't typically watch those.
Oh, no?
No. I don't know. There's been a couple in the past that I've watched, but for the most part I have a hard time getting past it.
I do too. Kind of like the, what's the one with like the rock bear? You see it on Netflix? It has like a Kuma rock star. It's like this bear who works this ordinary life, and then behind the scenes she's like a heavy metal rock star. Has
I think
that
so.
flash style animation.
Yeah.
She looks like a teddy bear.
Yeah, I haven't even given that one a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this one could be interesting. I might check it out a little bit, but I don't see myself continuing on very much with it. So, Sorry to those.
Yeah,
that love that.
I probably won't watch it either, as most of these, because they won't be dubbed.
But it probably won't be. But we got Mashin Hero Wataru Ryujin Maru of the Seven Souls. I think I said that right. The new series throws Wataru's world into confusion when he answers a call to return to the realm of Suikoden. He witnesses an upside-down image of the realm plunging downward, and his faithful robot Ryujin Maru, a clay sculpture he made in school, has its power sealed away and splinters into 7 pieces. Now Wataru must team up with his old friends to save Suikoden from a new evil and put Ryujin Maru together again. I don't really remember much of this one.
That's alright.
Oh wait, I think this is.
It looks like an '80s anime.
This might be the one that's coming out. It's like a continuation of something from a long time ago.
Oh, that would explain why it has like that older looking style.
Yeah, I have no interest in checking this one out. I feel like this is something that I'd expect to see on like Saturday morning cartoons, and I probably would have enjoyed watching it back when I used to watch the original Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it makes me think of like Dragon Ball meets Gundam.
I was
It's
kind
like
of
the
thinking
feeling
Dragon Ball meets shoot, what's it called? I guess that doesn't really help.
Oh, at the end of this PV, they let you know that they're action figures.
Oh, cool.
We get to buy some toys.
I'm very excited to be able to do that.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I love me some action figures.
I can do without them.
All right, next we got Those Years I Opened a Zoo. Juan inherited a private zoo and was forced to sign a contract after his graduation. And from that day onward, the first ever age-classified Luya Zoo appeared. Those aged under 21 are prohibited to enter.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be a dirty show.
Oh.
It's just
Well, then why is there an age restriction?
I don't know. It's just part of the restriction on the thing.
That's kind of a weird thing then.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like a weird thing to add?
It does, and that's kind of what makes me, because looking at the animation style of it, there's no way it's a naughty anime.
Why? Because it's kind of simplistic?
No, because it looks too good.
Looks too good.
Like
hey,
the animation
there's some naughty
quality.
animes that are pretty good. You ever seen High School DxD?
No.
That's got some fantastic animation.
Wait,
And
isn't that the one you've been trying to get me to watch for a really long time?
I've been trying to get you to watch that for a very long time.
I didn't know it was one of those.
It's so good.
Yeah, I have no intention of watching that one now.
Spen, it's hilarious. You need to watch it. And it's got really good action scenes. The animation's really good. It's top notch. It's better than this. I guarantee it.
Well, I'm really excited for this one because it's got that Chinese art style to it, like some of the inspirations from it. Because this is another one of the ones made in China.
Ah, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because I think there were 3 of them on the list for this season that were coming from China, and I think we've gone through all 3 of them now.
Okay.
But I love that art style, and I love the Chinese architecture. So I really love animes that have kind of that incorporated into it. I think it's really, really sweet. That's part of the reason why I loved Mulan so much.
Oh,
When
my
I was
wife
younger.
also loved Mulan.
Is she excited for the movie adaptation?
She is. She was pretty upset at first when they said they weren't going to sing the songs. But I got to say, I'm more excited about it now because it's going to be different from the cartoon.
Yeah, because they're not going to have the dragon in it.
Nope. It's going
And
to
it's
be
gonna
a
be-
phoenix.
It's going to be more of an action adventure.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm curious to see where it goes because, like I said, it's changing it up from how the original cartoon was made. So
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Hopefully
Guess
it'll
we'll find
not
out.
suck.
we'll see.
So the last one we've got here is Spicy Girl. Since her childhood, Su Xiao has been sidelined because of her frightening air. Now an actress, she unfortunately remains stuck in the roles of villains. One day, Xiao Jian, a recognized investor and actor, comes across a scene between Su Xiao and his manager, which is confusing. In order to silence him, Su Xiao signs a contract with him. I don't really know much about this one.
I don't know. That description sounds confusing.
Yeah, so what's happening is that in this anime there is a female actor who has a very frightening air to her, and because of that she is stuck in only playing the roles of villains.
Sounds like you just reread the...
No, but she wants to go through and
Yeah.
she doesn't want that anymore. She tries to change it, and something is supposed to happen between her and this other guy. And it's this contract between, again, kind of like I'm just rereading it, but it's I don't know, it interests me enough that I haven't heard of an anime like this yet. We've had ones where there's been villains that don't want to be villains or not, but not about like an actor.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. It's very glowy.
yeah, the art style.
So you know it's a romance anime.
Well, it's a romance comedy. So
Whatever.
but as far as I know, those are all the spring anime coming out 2020. So
Cool. I'm excited for a few of them.
or sorry, the new
Excited
ones.
for most of them.
Yeah, because we've got continuing anime coming up now.
Oh man, continuing anime.
Yeah.
Do it.
These are all the shows that are going to be continuing on from seasons past.
Cool.
Do you know much about Kaguya-sama Love is War?
I really want to watch it, but it's not dubbed yet, so
Ah.
that's why I haven't. I do have it because I'm subscribed to Funimation, so it is on my queue. However, I'm just waiting for the dub to happen.
Do you even know if a dub's going to happen?
I'm pretty confident there's a dub happening.
Okay.
I don't remember the date, but I'm pretty confident there is one.
Well, I don't know. I watched the first episode. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't anything
as-
about it where I was like, "Oh, I've really got to watch this." Because I
Not
think
as juicy as you were hoping it.
because this wasn't last season, but it came out the season before. I believe.
Okay.
Like, I believe it came out in spring or summer of last year.
All right. Yeah. No. The concept seems really interesting. I like the idea of how they both like each other, but they're just trying to fight each other to convince the other one to admit it.
Yeah, it is kind of neat. So
So I definitely want to get into it. I do want to watch it, but we'll see when it gets dubbed.
yeah, if it gets dubbed, who knows?
I'm pretty sure it's getting dubbed.
But we've got a third season of My Youth Romantic Comedy is Wrong, as I expected. Which is, or My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu.
Nice.
I haven't watched this one.
I actually started watching it.
Really?
Yeah, this week. Because I read this list. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. Those are in my queue on another subscription service called High Dive.
So what is it?
I'm almost done with season 2 right now.
So can you explain it to me? Like the part of the first season, like some ideas of the first season?
Sure. So like you follow this main character. His name is Hikigaya, and he's antisocial and doesn't like people, and he's a lone wolf.
Okay.
He hates society and the world, basically. I guess he doesn't hate people, but he hates the social standards that are kind of forced upon people and stuff like that.
Okay.
Anyways, his teacher forces him to join a club, and the club he ends up joining is called the Service Club, to which he meets this other girl who is also kind of socially awkward, but she's more of a leader. And then this girl that likes him follows him into it, and she's super bubbly and outgoing and whatnot. So they kind of have this little love triangle that's hinted at infrequently, but it doesn't focus a lot on romance, surprisingly.
See, that explains the PV for the season 3 then. Now it
Yeah,
makes a bit more
'cause-
sense to me.
So, from what I understand, I read about this too. There's only going to be 3 seasons because the 3rd season wraps up the last story arc
Okay.
of the manga, and supposedly it gets juicier and juicier. So the first season, I would say, is more comedy centric, and so far in the 2nd season, it feels more dramatic. So like, it's tonally different. And I think the 3rd season is going to dip farther into that to kind of explore relationships more.
Okay.
Because they barely touch on it in season 1, and then season 2 they kind of dive into the concept of romance with people, and I think season 3 is really going to explore that. At least I hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be super disappointing because there hasn't really been a whole lot of payoff.
Those always suck.
But overall, I am interested. I do like the characters. What's really interesting, though, Spen, fun fact about it, the first season and second season, the art style is completely different.
Really?
So something happened where it changed studios. So, like, the first season did very well, so they gave it to a different studio with a bigger budget, and so, like...
Like, it was it an increase in animation quality, or was it like kind of a decrease?
It is an increase, but it's just different. So, like, the first one's more cartoony to fit the comedic tone, and the second season's more dramatic, and it has an art style that kind of reflects that a little more.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. That doesn't typically happen in animes, so...
No, usually it just goes down.
Yeah. But
talking about you, Seven Deadly Sins. Well, we've also got coming out is Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Wonderworld second season. Have you're not quite at War of the Underworld.
I still need to finish, the Alicization that season.
Yeah.
I think I got like 17 episodes into it, and then I just stopped.
Wait, of which one?
Or maybe not 17. I don't know how many episodes are in the first one, but I got like 2/3 of the way through it, and I just stopped.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I got 2/3 of the way through it, and then I stopped watching it. And then eventually I just picked it back up, and I kind of trudged through a couple episodes, and then it started to get... And then it kind of picked up again.
Is it worth it?
I really, really liked War of the Underworld. I loved the beginning of it, and I loved the end of it. There was another moment of this one, kind of around the same point as the last one, where I was just like, nah, right.
I feel that's pretty common with Sword Art. So
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, the first half of the first season, I loved when it was all on the main world, Ironcrad. And then the whole fairy world kind of sucked. But then the last couple episodes I thought were pretty good still. And then I went back for season 2 because I thought season 1 ended pretty well. And like the first few episodes of season 2 were pretty good. And then it kind of just meh. And then the last couple episodes are still pretty good.
Well, I think the problem with Sword Art Online is the scenarios are always interesting and exciting. Kirito is not. And I think that's why, because in the beginning, there's usually something intense that's going on. And it's really cool watching him try and figure out his way through it and get through the stuff. But then once things quiet down a little bit, and it's just an everyday life moment, or he's just kind of trudging along before the next little thing picks up.
Once he figures it out, it's kind of meh.
Then it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. He kind of sucks as a character because he doesn't really have a personality. He's just really good at the game.
Yeah, I mean...
And the ladies love him.
Yeah. I do gotta say, I actually like Kirito when he's in the real world because he's not this all-powerful guy who can kind of get away with anything.
You're right.
He has struggles, and I kind of like those moments. But yeah, you're right. He is pretty boring other than that.
But I think the way they ended War of the Underworld is currently making War of the Underworld second season my most hyped.
Really?
The most hyped I've ever been for Sword Art Online.
Okay.
Because they've done some different things, and they've done them really well, and they just... I hate saying this. It's not a spoiler, but... basically, from probably the 4th or 5th episode into War of the Underworld, they've been alluding to the events that are finally happening in the second season, and it's been just this slow, ever gradual build up to the moment that is currently about to happen. So,
all right,
I'm excited for it. I don't really know much about this next one.
I don't know anything about it. Dropkick on my devil dash. The demon Yashin-chan has been summoned to Earth by Yurine, a girl with a knack for the occult. Unfortunately, Yurine does not actually know how to send Yashin-chan back to hell. Now stuck on Earth, she must live at Yurine's apartment as her familiar.
Yeah.
The only way for Yashin-chan to return would be to kill her summoner, but this is easier said than done for the incompetent demon. Since Yashin-chan is immortal and can regenerate her body, Yurine does not hold back in attacking her with a range of weapons. punishing her in gruesome manners for her evil schemes. Yasha-chan is also visited by her demon friends and the kind-hearted Gorgon Medusa, energetic Minotaur, who seems much more well-behaved in contrast and disapproves of her plans to kill Yurine.
It sounds really cool, but it's
I don't
another
know.
Flash
Part of it-
animation style.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Part of it sounds cool. Part of it sounds like this is going to be too wacky for me.
that's fair. I love this kind of wacky. So
Yeah,
But
see,
I
I have
don't
a hard
love the
time with
Flash
anime
animation.
being wacky. I can accept moments of it in an anime, but for the most part, I can't handle like the whole anime being constantly wacky. Granted, there's an exception to every rule. High School DxD.
Well,
should
I
watch
look
it.
forward to one of these days when we go through and we each kind of like take turns picking an anime and then we watch through it and then we talk about it.
Man,
Because
that
I'm
would be
gonna
really
make you
cool.
watch Nichijou.
Great. I'm gonna make you watch High School DxD. All right.
Well, we got Food Wars Season 5. I don't think we really need to say anything about it. I'm
it's
not
about
really
Food
excited
Wars.
for.
I honestly didn't even know there were 4 seasons of Food Wars.
You didn't?
No.
Oh. You
Yeah.
thought there was just the one season?
Yeah. I mean, I heard of it, but that was it. That's all
you
I
heard
knew
of it.
about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Food Wars was really cool in the early seasons because there were things they were fighting for. There was clear like goals of what was going on, and then
Yeah.
there's always been clear goals, but everything's kind of escalated to a point where now it's like our characters aren't the underdogs anymore, but they still are, and it's I'm tired of it's always an underdog fight every single moment of the anime. Which the first season it was cool, it was interesting, but then it's just underdog. Oh, we're still the underdog. Oh, we're still the underdog. Oh,
You know, what
someone
would be
else is
kind
the
of
underdog fighting
interesting?
with us.
I'm curious if this is ever done in anime, but what would be really cool is like if you follow this main group of characters, right?
Mhm.
And they're the underdog of the story. And then take that for a season or two, whatever you want to do. But then the next season, you still continue the story, but you follow new sets of characters who are now the new underdogs trying to topple over the previous set of
That'd be kind
main
of cool.
characters. That'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
I'd be interested to see if an anime has ever done that or will attempt to do that in the future.
I hope so. If not,
That'd
we're
be
gonna
cool.
make it.
That's right. We're gonna break all the anime tropes.
Yeah.
All right.
One of
Next,
these
we got
days.
Fruit Basket, second season. Fruit Basket tells the story of Toru, an orphan girl who, after meeting Yuki Kyo in Shigurui, learns that 12 members of the Soma family are possessed by animals of the Chinese zodiac, and they're cursed into their actual animal forms when they are weak, stressed, or when they are embraced by anyone of the opposite sex that is not possessed by a zodiac spirit. As the series progresses, Toru learns the hardships and pains faced with afflicted somas, and through her own generous and loving nature helps heal their emotional wounds. As she learns more about Yuki Kyo and the rest of the mysterious Soma family, Toru also learns more about herself and how much others care for her.
Yeah. It's
I heard it was really good. My wife watched it. I didn't watch it.
That's it. I thought
That's
you were
all
gonna
I
say
got.
something. Okay.
I know nothing else about it.
I never watched the original. I started watching it on this new remake. The original was coming out the original anime that came out many years ago was coming out at the same time that the manga was coming out. So
Okay.
the anime ended up branching off from the manga and ended up being different.
Yeah.
Which there was a lot of like love-hate about that. But now this new remake, this is the second season of the new remake, which is supposed to be following the manga to a T. So
I didn't realize there was an original.
yeah, it was a really long time ago. It was really popular
Okay.
too. I really like it. I think it's kind of interesting. We start out
Yeah.
with this girl that's she I don't remember what it is. She's living in a tent in the middle of a forest because her grandmother or her grandfather died and passed away. But she
Okay.
didn't want to go back to where, or it was someone in her family she was living with passed away, and she didn't want to go to move with this other person because it was going to be a really tough burden on them. So she just lived in a tent for a little while, and then turns out it's in the forest owned by the Somas, and so then they end up finding out she lives there, so that she lives in their house, and then they start learning about all these zodiac animal things, and there's a lot of what's really neat is every member of the Soma family who they're Chinese zodiac, they have like the personality that fits with the zodiac. So
Yeah.
there's a really large variety of like characters, which I think is really cool. But
Interesting.
I still
I don't
haven't
know, I
finished
was-
the first season.
I was all for it until I read the part about they turn into the animals when they're touched by the opposite sex. It's kind of
It
weird.
sounds a lot worse than it actually is.
Okay.
So
We'll see. We'll
I
see.
don't.
Maybe
if it helps,
maybe
I don't
I'll
know
give
if
it
I'd
a try.
recommend. This isn't one I would normally recommend to you, though. I don't think.
No.
No, but
All right.
this next one though.
You're gonna recommend to me hardcore.
Ascendance of a Bookworm. I'm super pumped for the second season. I mean, at the time this podcast is being recorded, the first episode of the second season was out already, and I watched it and it was really good.
No, it was terrible. Don't let them lie to you, everybody.
No. So this is another one of the ones where someone has transported to another world. But in this situation, this girl, or something happens. This girl wakes up in the body of another girl, but she's really sick and frail, and it's due to these. Yeah, she just wakes up in this body that's really frail. But she always wanted to. In the previous worlds that she lived in, the most important thing to her were books, and she always loved reading, and that's all she cared about. In the new world she's woken up in, it's in this very medieval setting with like nobles
Yeah.
and the commoners, and there's no such thing really as books.
Oh,
So she
no.
goes through the process of trying to figure out how to either get books or make them herself, and it's really cool the way it goes through it.
That's
I think
cool.
it's really well done, and the animation quality is really nice too.
It looks simple.
So
Not that it's bad. It just looks simple.
yeah,
Other
it
than
kind
the
of
hair
is.
is very glowy.
Yeah,
There's like a lot of reflection going on in their hair.
yeah. Well, there's a reason for that.
Is there?
Yeah,
Nice.
you're never gonna watch it, so I'm just gonna say it anyways.
Okay, tell me. Go ahead.
So it's just another one of the things where she has all this knowledge from the previous world that she's incorporating into the new world. So she was able to. She's living in a place where people go and bathe in wherever it is every once in a while, but she has shampoo. She learned how to
so
make
her-
shampoo from like
So
other.
her hair is super shiny and no
Yeah.
one else's is.
And it's part of what kind of helps her stand out and kind of gets her into some different
Ah,
situations. So I think it's
Alright.
kind of cool.
cool.
I don't know much
Well,
about this one.
I don't either. It's
I
called No
know-
Guns Life, and it has a second season. It's about a guy with a gun for a head.
I know from the PV, I'm gonna go and watch the first season.
Really?
It looks really cool. It looks fairly action oriented. It looks like things are gonna be kind of insane. I don't really know what else to say about it.
It does. It's just I can't get past the gun for the head.
Yeah.
Like everything else about it, like I'm super interested. I do want to watch it, but like I started to watch the first episode and it's good. But the gun for the head, like I can't get past that. It's just I'm so hung up on a stupid detail.
No, that's fair. It's definitely one of those things where it's a little weird and different, but hopefully in a good
Yeah.
way.
I'm
So.
sure it is.
I just removed a couple from the list just because they are shorts that or like little things that we're not going to be getting.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, the next one we got is Hakushan Daimo 2020. This is the one where 50 years have passed since the events of the original series from like a long time ago.
Was it
Where
50 years ago?
I have no idea, but Akubi is now training to become queen when she meets Kentaro Yodama, the grandson of the genie bottle's original owner, Kanchan. Together, Akubi and Kentaro take on many jobs in the human world and learn the importance of having a dream. It's gonna be on Netflix.
Aw, that one sounds nice.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice little good feel goody one. So
It does. But now that I'm watching this, I probably won't watch it.
no, I didn't think so.
Although the concept does seem interesting. I'm not gonna say it does sound like a feel good anime. Maybe one day. I have opened my horizons to more interesting animes.
You have. I've been impressed from time to time.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
Okay, no problem. Do you know much about Baki?
Not a thing.
All right. Well, this one we got the second season of that one. It picks up where the season 1 left off, where Baki is continuing his aim to be the strongest man on Earth in the second season, titled Baki Dai Raitashiaha Braga, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Raitaisaihin. Following Kaisuke Itaga's hit manga, season 2 of the Netflix exclusive will express the Musashi arc, which is a favorite amongst fans of the series. The promotional video highlights some of the characters set to appear in the action-packed battles and will take place in the underground arena. I believe this is is this the boxing one?
Yes.
Okay. There was a lot of high praise for the first season. I haven't watched it.
But it looks pretty intense watching it. It's got very detailed anime.
Mm-hmm. It's gotten a lot of praise for its art style as well, and just the
Yeah.
directions with the animation.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Kind of makes you think of Street Fighter.
Well,
But
that's not a bad way of looking at it.
no. But next we got Seven Seeds. Seven Seeds tells the story of a group of astronomers who correctly predict the Earth would be hit by a meteorite. The leaders must then devise a plan to ensure the survival of humanity. Seven Seeds Project takes the select group of young individuals from each country and sees them
Cryonically.
Jesus, I can't say that word. Preserved so they can survive the impact of the meteor. It would be determined by the computer Earth that support human life and revive each group. But upon awakening, the group of survivors is greeted to a hostile, unknown world devoid of human life. That already came out.
This is the second season.
Oh, wait, it was a second season or a second movie? Because the first one's a movie.
It wasn't a movie. It's a season.
Right, it's that plot sounds super familiar.
So there is the first season on Netflix, which I watched. I rather enjoyed it. There were some moments where I was kind of like, all right, I'm fine without this. But for the most part, I was relatively happy with it. I didn't enjoy it enough that I've jumped on the second season yet, because I believe the second season is out, and it's been out for a little while now.
Okay, one second. This literally sounds like a plot of a different thing I watched on Funimation that was a movie.
Well, while you look that up, the only last one they have right now is Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise second season. So that's also going to be popping out here pretty shortly over on Crunchyroll.
How many Gundam seasons are there?
There are tons, and Gundam is massive.
It's huge. I know that. Why can't I log into Funimation?
I don't know, Zio. I don't know what to tell you. Seven Seed
Gosh,
might have been
dang
on. It might have been on Funimation as well. I think the first episode was really long. I mean, that might be what you're thinking of.
No, Kings. No, because I'm thinking of something else, but it literally has the exact same plot.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't heard it. I thought it was pretty unique. I hadn't heard anything about it or like it yet.
Not that unique.
So, I guess not.
What's it called?
All right. Well, while you continue looking that up, I'm going to talk about a couple movies that are coming out this year.
Okay, you do that.
Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0. The fourth Evangelion movie. Dude, I am pumped for this. It is the fourth and final movie of the Evangelion Rebuild movie series. I got to go see the second Evangelion in theaters, and it changed my life. Just being able the animation of those movies is so good. And just being able to see it in massive scale was a wonderful
That's not
thing.
one of the ones coming out in like IMAX 4K, is it?
I don't know. It's coming out June 27th, possibly, if the world doesn't end.
Okay. King of Thorns.
King of Thorns.
So there's this movie on Funimation called King of Thorns that is literally that plot of Seven Seeds. So what it does is there's like this disease. Okay, maybe it's not a meteorite. Honestly, I don't remember what killed the world. Whether it's a meteorite or if it was like a disease. But something killed the world. And it cryogenically froze a bunch of people, including this girl. And then these people, I feel like there were 7 of them, woke up. And turns out there's plants killing everything. And then there's these monsters everywhere trying to kill everything. Everybody died except them.
Okay, so this is much different in the sense that it's more of a psychological thriller between the different surviving groups of the different countries. because
okay.
because the people come out of the cryo and then they make it to this place. They don't really know where they are, but they're like on Japan. But this because of how much time has passed, like the seawater is raised so much that the entire landscape of the world's kind of changed. And then as they're traveling around, they encounter other groups, and it's a very most of the issues that come up are between disputes
Yeah.
between like different groups and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that it's different watching the PV of it or trailer,
Yeah.
and but like it reminds me, just that synopsis reminds me a lot of King of Thorns.
No, it's fair. By the sounds of it, they could be pretty similar.
Watching now,
So-
they're not similar at all.
Oh, okay.
King of Thorns is more horror centric.
Well, I believe this next movie, Zio, you're going to be excited for.
We will
It's the
see. Sven.
Violet Evergarden movie.
Oh, nice. Only
So-
if it's getting dubbed.
So, Violet Evergarden tutors a young lady at a private women's academy, but still grieves for the only person who ever brought her happiness.
Ah, spoiler.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. We've also got that's going to be April 24th.
Yeah.
We've also got Fate Stay Night's Heaven's Feel. That's it's the third movie of the 3 movie adaptations of the Fate Stay Night. You don't sound too happy.
I have a hard time with it. We'll see how it goes. A lot of the I liked, although this is a part of the Fate Stay
Stay Night. So this is
Yeah,
the one
okay.
with
Never mind. I'm
the
more
red-haired
interested.
kid.
Yeah, I'm more interested than I don't know. He's still not that great of a character, but
No, I also
like-
agree. He's not a very strong character.
Fate Zero was fantastic, which made
Hot
me
diggity
watch
dog it
Fate
was.
Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
ended up watching the original anime, and it wasn't.
Oh
The
no,
greatest.
you need to watch Unlimited Blade Works. It's way better.
Oh, I watched that. It was
Okay.
way better.
It's so much better.
Oh yeah.
So I
'Cause
guess
it brought
I
in
do
the
gotta
quality
say-
that they had from the other one.
So
Or the-
there's 3 movies of Fate Stay Night.
So they took the original first season of Fate Stay Night, and they instead of redoing the anime, they made it into 3 movies.
Oh, so it's the same as a series, just in movies.
Yeah. So Unlimited Blade Works, I believe, was just one movie to redo the whole thing. Like,
Well, no, it's a series.
What?
Yeah, it's a series and it's got 2 seasons.
Oh, because
So
all right.
Unlimited Blade Works. Let me break it down for you, Spin.
So it was a
Unlimited-
remake of the first season.
It's a remake of the original Fate Stay Night. But
Yeah, which
imagine
is the first season.
imagine Full Metal Alchemist,
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Unlimited Blade Works is basically Brotherhood for the first season.
Okay, because I know the Fate Stay Night. I think Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works is the first of the 3 movies.
It's not a movie. It's a show.
Are you sure?
It has 26 episodes.
All right. Well, maybe there's 3 movies that came out that they ended up that are separate from Blade Works.
But it's the same story, just retold again.
Yeah, but probably this time more to follow. I don't know.
But Unlimited Blade Works, though, is already more faithful than the original.
Yeah, I don't really know then. I know I didn't really enjoy Unlimited Blade Works as much.
Are you sure? Because it sounds like you didn't. It just sounds like you didn't even watch it.
Well, I watched the whole thing.
If you thought it was a movie, there's a
It's
big
been
difference
so
between-
long since I've seen it, though.
there's a huge difference between an hour and a half movie and 26 episodes.
Yeah. Well, because I know I watched the whole original, and then I watched the rework, and then for some reason, I think I'm just, because I haven't seen the Heavens Feel, or whatever it is, the Fate Stay Night, like the new movies. I haven't seen I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I'm
haven't
just
seen
mixing
any
up
of
all
the
of them.
Fate Stay
There's
movies.
so much Fate Stay
Fate
Night
Stay Night.
stuff out there right now that it's just...
Well, there's just so much Fate Stay stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that I've just mixed up a bunch of it, so...
So like there's a lot of Fate Stay, and that's
But
why
we're
I was
also
kinda,
running a little late on time here, so we'll have to.
Fine.
Sorry, Zio. To quickly kind of go through the rest of this, we'll kind of move a little bit quicker. We got a Given movie, which is going to be the anime focuses on high school students. Mafuyu and Ritsuka's tender love. The upcoming movie will center on the oldest members of the cast, Haruki, Akihiko, and Ugetsu, and depict their bitter love story. So Given movie is supposed to be, it's separate from the anime. I believe it takes place after it.
Okay.
And then I haven't seen the anime, so I don't know for sure, but it is related to it in some sort of sense.
Interesting.
But that'll be May 16th.
Cool.
So I guess that's, well, I don't know how they're going to do these movies that are supposed to be coming out shortly, so.
Well, I'll tell you how they're going to do the next one. Princess Principal Crown Handler is a 6-film series continuing off from the last episode of the series.
Yeah, so there's an anime that went kind of through its run, and now there's 6 movies coming out that continue.
That's insane.
It
Instead of
is.
just doing a whole nother season, they do 6 movies.
Which ends up being more than a whole nother season.
Does it?
I believe so.
Because, I mean, I don't know, 6 times, that's 9 hours.
Yeah.
So I guess if your typical season's 13 episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you go with a 26-episode arc.
I guess that's true. Oh, dang it. Buddy, seriously.
Buddy, come on, man. We're doing a podcast.
Hey, buddy! There we go.
Cool.
So we got Wanting to Cry, I Put on a Cat. It's a romantic fantasy story set in Tokonome City in the Aichi Prefecture. The protagonist is an eccentric second-year junior high school student, Mio Sasaki, nicknamed Moog, which it's supposed to be like a Mugendai Naizo Ningen / Infinite Mystery Person. No idea what that means. But she has tried to confess her love to her beloved classmate, but she has been completely ignored. The only way she can be around him is to be a cat. While she can be with him only when she transforms into a cat, the line between herself as a human and herself as a cat gradually gets blurred. So the PV for this one shows us with this girl. She's confessing to the boy, and I don't remember if she confesses to him. No, she tries to confess to him, but it doesn't go over well. And then she somehow gets the ability to turn into a cat, and so we see in the PV her spending a lot of time with this boy as the cat.
Yeah.
So I think I think it could be interesting. I'm
Not
looking
gonna
forward
lie.
to seeing it.
I would normally hate animes like this, but after watching that PV, I really want to watch it.
Well, the PV makes it look really good.
I'm a sucker. It drew me in. It got me. I want to watch it now.
Well, I'm hoping it's not going to suck, and if it's anything like the
Okay.
PV, it probably won't.
All right, go ahead and take the next one because I'll sound like an idiot trying to read it.
So it's Omoi Omoware Furi Furare. So Yuna and Akari are 2 high school girls with very different views on love. Yuna dreams about romance through rose-colored glasses, while Akari is down-to-earth and practical. Meanwhile, high school boys Kazuomi and Ryo also have different views on love. Kazuomi is an airhead who can't grasp the concept of love, while Ryo grabs onto any confession as an opportunity, so long as the girl looks cute. Will these 4 classmates end up leading a youthful romance that meets their expectations? Who knows?
Or will we all be disappointed because anime doesn't always give us what we want?
I don't know. It sounds interesting enough that if it was on Netflix or if it came up on Crunchyroll or Funimation, I'd watch it, but I don't know if I'd spend money to watch it.
I definitely wouldn't spend money to watch it, but if it happens to show up on Funimation or Netflix, absolutely. Maybe I'd give it a shot.
Well, why don't you take this next one here, because this one might be a little easier.
Okay,
To
words
pronounce.
are boiling up like cider. The boy meets girl story depicts on how words and music bridge the gap between Cherry, a boy who is terrible at communicating with other people, and Smile, a girl who hides behind a mask. They meet in a mundane suburban shopping mall in a provincial city. Cherry always wanted to wear headphones and put the feelings he cannot utter into his hobby, Japanese haiku poems. Sorry. Smile always wears a mask to conceal her large front teeth, for which she has dental braces. As a popular video star, she streams a video about seeking cuteness.
Yeah. From watching the PV, I think it looks a little cute.
Yeah, it
Might be
sounds
interesting.
cute. The haiku poem thing just makes me a little. I don't know, like for some reason, like just how I grew up, haiku poems are not something I take very seriously.
No, because
So, like-
you're a tough, manly man. You don't have time for that kind of stuff.
Ugh, no, I have nothing against poems as they are. It's just a haiku specifically, to me, has always come across silly. But
That's fair.
I do like the animation style. I gotta say, it does look
Really cool.
interesting.
It's kind of different, and hopefully in a good way. It's very
Yeah.
colorful.
Yeah, it's definitely taken some artistic.
It kind of reminds me of
Privileges.
Summertime Wars.
Okay, I never saw that.
That's one of my favorite anime movies. I'd recommend it. It might be a
Nice.
little too weird for you though.
Maybe.
But who knows? The last one on the list here is Detective Conan movie 24. We're not even going to worry about it.
What? I love Detective Conan.
Really?
This is one of the first animes I ever got into. Okay, it wasn't Detective Conan. It was called Case Closed. But I know they're basically the same thing.
Okay, I remember Case Closed. I don't remember Detective Conan.
Detective Conan is what the manga is called, I believe. And then it got picked up by Adult Swim, which changed it to Case Closed, I believe. I also have no idea, because after it stopped dubbing, I stopped watching. But
Well,
I love the
there's-
concept. It was basically like this high school detective prodigy gets poisoned and turned into a child.
Yeah.
And so he solves crimes through his best friend's dad, who is a terrible detective.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. It's kind of crazy looking at some of the older episodes and looking at some of the newer ones, where he's a teenager now.
I honestly had no idea it was even still going.
Oh, it's one of the longest running, I believe.
He's a teenager, so he grew back up.
No,
into...
it's he was a kid, and throughout the seasons, he's slowly aged,
Interesting.
like how people normally would.
So
You go through the progress of watching him being a kid, and now he's kind of like an early teen. So throughout this series, he's slowly naturally aged, along with everybody else in this world.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, but I just find it interesting. Out of so long, he's still not an adult yet.
Well, there's many shows where age doesn't continue.
I get it. I understand. It's
like Ash is still what?
Look, that's different.
13?
They're very different animes, though. Ash is clearly like a children's manga anime style, as Detective Conan / Case Closed is more adult oriented. It's got a lot of murder and shit in it.
It's true. But I have to get going because I've got some stuff going on that I'm going to be a little late for. So we got to wrap things up here, Mr. Zio.
All right, let's wrap it up. We're wrapping it up, everybody.
Pretty much the podcast, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Have yourselves a good one.
Enjoy all these new animes.
Yeah, you'll find a link down to our Discord below if you're interested in checking out our Discord, where we do lots of chatting and talking online. But we also make a web series on YouTube called Next to Nothing.
Yeah.
And now we have our own Cowboy Bebop abridged, written by Zio Truly.
Thank you. It's so much fun. Cowboy Bridge is a blast. I'm very excited. Obviously inspired by anime and other abridged series.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most well-received things that we've started so far.
It really is. I'm very surprised on how well-received it was. I remember talking to you a few weeks ago.
You were afraid
about
everyone was going to hate it.
I was like, I think everyone's going to hate this. And I don't know if I'll continue it after episode 1. We'll see. If I get like 100 views or something like that, I'll do well. And it exceeded any expectation I ever had for it.
Yeah, it was really nice. I'm really excited for more of it. So,
well, I'm very excited to do more of it as well. But thanks for watching, everybody. If by whatever reason you made it here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the notification bell, you should hit that too, because YouTube doesn't like to tell people who subscribe to us about our content.
Yeah, and normally we have a question of the week, but I really have to go, so we will postpone that to next week.
Spen doesn't like you guys enough.
No, not at all.